Hi, everybody. This is Spin Tunnel.
Hello, we're here.
Welcome.
What's going on? We're back.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Boys are back in town.
Boys are back in town. It's been a while. I don't know how many weeks we missed because I know we missed Sonoma show because we got really busy.
Sonoma show.
We couldn't get the show in, and then NASCAR took a 1 week break with Cup, so we missed that too. And now we're here. We watched Nashville.
We just did Sonoma.
But we didn't do Sonoma, and now we're doing Nashville.
And Sonoma.
Okay.
We got a whole smorgasbord.
Sonoma round. Then
Yeah.
Nashville.
We got a whole smorgasbord of stuff today.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what a smorgasbord is?
No.
It's a board with some smorgas on it.
Yeah, what are smorgas?
What's smorgas?
What's a group of smorgas called? Are they smorgai?
No, smorgas is that stuff you find in your
Smorgases.
No, smorgas is the stuff you find in your dryer.
Yeah, like the stuff you get out of the little vent on the front.
No, the stuff in the dryer, like the clothes.
Yeah.
That's what.
You don't eat the lint.
I eat the lint.
Okay, good.
But it's called lint.
That's the best part.
Yeah, I eat it.
Yeah.
I would know.
You eat the lint and then you wear the smorgas.
Yeah.
This episode of Spin Tunnel was brought to you by Dryer Lint. Eat it today.
Thank you for that plug. We're gonna have to go on a 5-minute break here for commercial. I gotta go pull my smorgas out of the dryer.
Well, you should always pull your smorgas out of the dryer. It's a fire hazard if you don't.
I think you're just
know
talking
that?
about dryer lint.
Maybe I am. Anyway, Sonoma was a race.
Yeah, it was.
Was.
We had lots of underdogs up front.
Including the greatest driver to ever live.
Notably, Chris Buescher, the GOAT, followed by...
No.
Okay.
Michael McDowell, the GOAT.
Michael McDowell, the GOAT, in third, and behind the GOAT, Chris Buescher, behind Daniel Suarez, who won the race. Congratulations to Daniel Suarez. Team Trackhouse wins another race, this time with their other car, and it's Suarez's first Cup win. So that's good to see. Good for him, you know. Finally broke through. He'd been due. We've been saying he's been due on the show, which is another new winner for our board. I know none of us predicted Suarez. I don't know if anybody even predicted Suarez to win a race this year. So...
I think one of us had him and like one race. I don't know what it was.
I'll go check, but I
couldn't
doubt
tell
it.
you. I know that none of us picked him for Sonoma. And honestly, the guys that we picked for Sonoma all ran like shit. So, you know, the Hendrick cars were pretty much non-factors until maybe the very end.
No, they were good most of the race. And then
Well, I'm talking like running in the front.
Yeah, Elliott. He led a lot of laps.
Yeah, Elliott led a lot of laps, but then he had the penalty.
Then Larson tried that like crazy strat he did last
Larson
year.
shot himself in the foot on the strategy
qualify it.
too. But that's what I'm saying though. Between them and then like Byron and Bowman ran like around the top 10. But I'm saying like they didn't. In the end, there it was clear and far away a battle of the 99 and the 17, which is really funny to say.
The 4 was in the mix for a little while.
Honestly,
then they had
though,
that
remarkably, the Fords killed it. Besides the Chevy that won, I think almost the entire top 10 were Fords.
The next
because behind them
there
was the 12 and the 2 and the 4, and the 6 finished 10th. So,
and the next 5 cars down after 4 were all Fords.
And then I don't know who split up the Ford party because I know Brad was 10th in the 6 car. But it was, you know, like 99, 17, 34 on
4.
speed, by the way.
Yeah. Then it was the 4 and I believe the 12.
I'm so excited for Road America next weekend based off what we saw at Sonoma.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's going to be great.
And I mean, honestly, what we saw at Coda. Because Coda, gotta remember, the race for the win at Coda was a part-time colleague car and the 1 car.
Mm-hmm.
So... You know, Trackhouse has swept the road courses this year, and granted, the car that he was racing it, you know, it's the part-time colored car. It's still AJ Allmendinger, but
So the only person who had Daniel Suarez getting a win, from the looks of it anyway, is Brandon. You had him winning
I did pick
Daytona
Suarez somewhere.
2.
Where did I pick him?
You picked him for Daytona 2.
Okay, so a plate track.
Yeah.
So, take it with a grain of salt. But hey, we're all happy for him. It's very exciting to see.
Yeah, it was a great win.
That's our 5th new winner this year?
Fourth
first-time winner. I bet we'll get to 5.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good chance.
I mean, if Buescher or McDowell managed to win a race, it's going to feel like it, but it's not because they have wins.
Yeah.
Granted, McDowell's is legit. He won the 5. Buescher's is really, 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 really bizarre. Buescher's one win was that win in 2016 in the 34 car, by the way. Funny that I mention it. It was that Pocono race that got ended just past halfway due to fog, and he just didn't pit because he was like, "Hey, they might red flag it."
Yeah.
And then the fog never went away, so the race ended on a Monday, and they were like, "Yeah, this race is ended due to fog." So Chris Buescher won.
My mic was being weird. I brought this up, but it didn't pick up on my mic. You say the 99 and the 17 battling is weird, but 10 years ago or 15 years ago, that's a normal statement. It's just weird.
It's funny too that
words intensive.
Roush and now RFK, but Roush's last win in Cup on a non-Superspeedway track. The last car they won with in a points race was the 17. And that was their 2 wins they had in 2018? 17. 2017 with Ricky Stenhouse at Talladega and then Daytona in the summer. So their last non-plate win was all the way back at Sonoma, funny enough,
with the 99
car. And that was Carl Edwards' last year driving for them, and he won 2 races for them that year. So... Mm-hmm. It's just weird. What's crazy to think about? Roush made the round of 8 that year with that 99 car. That was their first. The first year of the playoff as we know it now, which means the playoffs is almost 10 years old.
Yeah, it is.
Carl Edwards could have driven a paper bag into the round of 8, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
it is Carl Edwards.
Which in 2015, he was by that point he was essentially driving a wet paper bag into the round of 8. Roush,
Yeah, in 14.
Yeah, that was the downfall.
Then in 15, he got the 19 car. That was the beginning of the 19 car. Before that, Gibbs was 3 cars.
Yep.
Crazy.
And Penske was 2 cars. Now Penske's
but before that, they were 3, and then they went down to 2, and now they're back to 3.
Except Sam Hornish.
Yeah.
With the 77. They also Penske also used to have, I think, a part-time 5th car at one point. Didn't Penske used to be
4th car, and it was the 02 car.
Yeah, with Ryan Newman.
They only ran with Ryan Newman. They never ran with anybody else. Pretty sure.
Yep. Anyway.
Total side note. So, I don't know. How many winners
else
do we have now?
Sonoma?
14? 13.
12.
Fuck. I keep... I'm getting way too excited. I'm trying to fill the grid, man.
Yeah. We have 9 races left.
9 races, and we need, 6 different people to win?
4 more winners.
Which I don't know if it's going to happen because I do think some of these guys with a couple wins are going to start rattling them off. I think Joey Logano's going to win a couple coming up.
Yet, though.
Yeah, I think Truex is going to win. I still think Harvick's going to win. I definitely think Blaney's going to win. I actually think Blaney is going to win Atlanta.
Blaney and Truex are the only 2. After that, it's a toss-up. I don't know if Harvick's
wins. Been showing speed recently.
Yeah, so I'd say his is probably race? I mean, I guess.
I'd be really disappointed if Harvick doesn't win.
Sure.
I want Harvick to win.
Adrian brought up a good point. Speaking of winners, I didn't know this, but Christopher Bell's stats at New Hampshire are absolutely insane.
Yeah. Okay, so Christopher Bell, besides the 1 year in his rookie season where he was with fucking Levine, so any year Christopher Bell has had competitive equipment, good competitive equipment,
which is all but
at
one
New
race
Hampshire.
He's ever run at New Hampshire.
Yeah, his worst finish in competitive equipment at New Hampshire is 2nd.
And that includes Xfinity stats.
Yep.
Christopher Bell has won every single Xfinity race he's ever entered there. And he's entered 3 times, he's won 3 times.
2 times when he ran full-time, and then once last year when the fucking 54 car won 11 races. And then last year he probably would have won if that race doesn't get cut short. So Christopher Bell, if I had to pick a New Hampshire winner, he would be my pick now. Because he's qualified well.
Up and win. It could be. I could totally see Bell winning New Hampshire.
Not only that, Bell has qualified amazing this year. He got a bunch. He's got a couple. Does he have one pole or two poles? He's got a pole.
He has 3.
And yeah, oh, he's 3 poles. Okay, he's got 3 poles. He's great at New Hampshire, and New Hampshire. We saw it with Phoenix. We saw it with Martinsville. New Hampshire's probably going to be hard to pass. I could see a dominating win from Christopher Bell at New Hampshire in the boat.
Adrian like sitting on poles.
No. That is a falsehood. That is a lie.
New Hampshire is super like track position intensive.
Yeah.
So if Christopher Bell gets the pole like he has,
especially with how this car raced at like Martinsville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Christopher Bell could win that race, and I think if he does, it'll be pretty dominating.
I think this will be a little bit more similar to Gateway than it was to Martinsville.
Yeah, but still, these are 2 tracks where it was obviously very hard to pass.
Please, God, I hope that testing went well.
Martinsville was slow enough to where hitting people didn't really get them off the bottom because they're going so slow. Like, you could just, like, stay parked down there and hold on to it. Gateway, not so much.
Gateway, you could ask our good buddy Denny Hamlin.
You would go up the hill and you would hit the wall.
Ross Chastain to Denny Hamlin.
Chastain, Reign of Terror tour. Anyways, I guess that's all we had to say about Sonoma.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, running the shoot again, so much better for this series. So much better for this series.
I love the shoot. So much better.
Get those pictures again.
More passing opportunities, at least for the Cup car.
I mean, yeah, there's a passing zone. Granted, the hairpin after the carousel was a good passing zone. It's just so tight in a Cup car.
Yeah. Just taking
unless
7.
you got an amazing run out of the carousel, which like you couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You could never make that move because you'd never make that corner.
Yeah. Taking 7 out of the chute is so much better the way this car runs.
So, yeah. Okay, cool. What else is there? I'm really at a loss here. We went into this episode with no fucking prep whatsoever.
I think that's it, Sonoma.
Yeah, and then we took the week off. In that week off, trucks went to Knoxville. That was interesting.
That was
considering how destructively bad that race was for our like entire beings last year in terms of entertainment, and like how like 3/4 of the race ran under yellow and it was just one lane and it was a mess. It completely 180 this year and it was actually pretty entertaining. So
yeah, it was a
good
race.
Gillen got the win.
Gillen won. And then
we saw a flip. Well, we didn't see a flip, but there was a flip.
Friesen's wife flipped her truck, and it was not on the broadcast, and they never brought it up. Everybody found out after the fact. She flipped her truck and kept racing. I don't know how that works, but NASCAR let it slide.
It was under roof. What I think.
I don't know if y'all are familiar with Knoxville, the racetrack, but there's like an inside berm. It's like a lane higher than the rest of the track. It's like for the pit access and stuff. And she got sideways by I think she got clipped by another truck. And she spun to the inside and clipped that. And it got the truck up off the ground. And then it just rutted into the dirt because it was like perpendicular to the racing surface. And it just did one little roll. Like, boom, boom, boom. Like over, like on the roof, back on the wheels. And she was like, well, just push me off the berm. It's high side. Just push me off the berm. We can go. And that's what they did. I don't know. I thought NASCAR would make her go to the care center. You know, considering she flipped and put her window net down, like that's you. Like you're probably done. But guess they don't care. Dirt racing, who knows?
She kept racing. She wasn't very competitive.
We don't care.
So anyway, that happened. I thought that was worth noting because it was funny.
It was funny.
Which is crazy. We now have already 4 flips. That's insane to me.
We have a lot of flips this year.
I don't even know if we're done flipping either. We got.
I mean, every series has had one now.
Yeah. We still got Daytona. We still got Talladega. We still got maybe Atlanta.
Considering the flips, if somebody told you that there was going to be a barrel roll catastrophic flip in Cup and it was going to be at Charlotte, you're going to be like, what?
Yeah,
I say catastrophic. You know, Buescher was fine and all, but it was just bizarre. And it was a pretty violent roll.
You don't see many of those rolls where they flip like a couple times.
Yeah,
really
that's what I can recall is like Christopher Bell in the trucks, like in 2016. That one was really bad.
Even though
you know what? It happened to Larson too, and they missed that on the broadcast. There's only the pictures of it.
Well, there's the angle, but it's like from like the infield. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's a really bad angle. So the best shots you can get is just looking at like the shutter shot pictures and kind of piecing together what was going on, like in between in your head.
Yeah. But that's but up until Busher, that was the last time we saw it happen. It was Larson in 2019. Then before that was Jamie Mc.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to count practice, was Jamie McMurray at Talladega?
But he just rolled like one time.
No, he
rolled a couple times. You're right. I remember him rolling one time off Newman's hood, and then he like rolled a couple times towards the inside wall.
Brian Newman and cars getting landed on him.
It never ends.
You
It's
love
gonna happen
these
in SRX.
broadcasts.
And Brent,
Yeah.
quick side note,
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see this car race at Michigan.
Michigan.
That track could be really fun with
Yeah,
the car.
if they can like make it multi-groove again, which
Mhm.
this car has shown to do at other tracks. So hey, you know what? You might be onto something.
Yeah. Dude, I really good race at Michigan because I love that track. It's just a big, fast, D-shaped oval. It's great.
When do we go to Michigan? August?
I think so, yeah.
Swag. Only one date now,
Yeah,
though, right? They don't race there. They only race there once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just one.
2020, they did the little Pocono thing of racing there 2 days in a row.
Yeah, but
that what they
2020
used to
was a
do?
Mess.
Yeah.
2020 was a
fucked up
mess. I think
season.
we raced at Darlington like 7 times.
Darlington
Yeah,
3 times, Charlotte 3 times if you count the Roval, twice if you don't.
I don't know why you
Yeah.
wouldn't. You're at Charlotte.
Yeah. Daytona 3 times then by that logic.
You know about the bank vault underneath Charlotte?
Wow.
Actually, we raced at Daytona 3 times last year.
What
I
y'all
forgot
know
about
about
that.
Joe Baum?
Joe Bang, bro. Joe
Joe
Bang.
Bang. My bad. I don't know shit
That's
about
his
Joe
name.
Baum, I guess. Because his
His
name
name's
is Joe Bang.
You ain't know shit about Joe Baum.
Mo Bamba?
Yeah. I think they can go to Nashville
Joe Baum.
now.
Yeah, I mean, Nashville, it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, moving on. Nashville. What'd y'all think? Better than last year? I say so. 10
Oh, yeah.
Better.
It
Yeah,
It was
freaking-
better than last year, but it still wasn't good.
Yes, it was.
Really?
was
I thought it was
good.
a good race.
Was not a fan of the race, but
These intermediate tracks have been.
oh no, I was just bored. I was just bored.
I
Yeah, a
will
lot of
agree
really
that you could
great
definitely
cars.
tell that they were struggling in traffic, like racing for the lead. Because like Kyle Busch
Yeah.
had enough of a car to put up a fight in the end of that, and he could not get to the 9 car. And anytime he did, the 9 car would just drive out of his way to get right in front of him, and then the 18 would lose like 7 car lengths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
It's like
that-
there's
that's
nothing
the
you can
whole
do
thing.
in that situation because the 9 can really just use the air as a weapon to just like make
Yeah.
your car not drivable. Well, he scoots away,
Forget-
no problem.
They had that awesome race at the front with Truex and Hamlin. They were going side by side for speed for like 20 laps at a time. It was crazy watching those two up front.
Yeah, yet another fuck finish. That was awesome.
Yeah, we'll get to the finish in a little bit. I don't want to touch on that
Yeah.
yet, but I do want to touch on that on
Yeah.
the show because it is worth talking about
It's
and giving opinions on because it's
Mhm.
very valid. So anyway, I guess we'll just do what we usually do and just run through the race. I mean, the really one to talk about. The race was like good battles for the stage wins. JGR looked like JGR of like 2019, where they were just
Yeah.
dominating, just destroying the field. With 3 cars. The 20 car wasn't up in there, but the 11 and the 19 and the 18 were just like decimating the field. And yeah, and I'm not trying to discredit the 20. He was running like 7th.
Yeah, Christopher
Kyle
Bell
Busch
is
on
the
that
Alex
first
Bowman
like
of
30
Toyota.
lap run jumped up like 25 spots
Yeah.
from the starting position.
Starting, yeah, he had to have. And Kyle was in a backup car all night. You know what I mean?
No, he wasn't in the backup car. They fixed the primary.
Oh, they did fix primary. I mean, he didn't hit the wall hard.
Yeah.
Still, they had to start in the rear. So
Yeah, he's in
anyway,
the back. He
JGR's
drove up
decimating
5
the
spots.
field, and then it started raining. And we're past halfway.
yeah, that was probably a big part of why I was bored with this race was the very long rain delay.
Yeah, because it went lightning delay, and then I think they raced a little bit after
Yeah,
that,
and then they got,
it
like, the
really
green.
rained, and then they didn't get green again until the sun was down. And I mean, yeah, they finished the race under green. It's no problem.
Yeah.
But the race went green again, like at dusk, sundown, like right past sundown. It was like dark. Track lights were on, which was cool watching
Yeah.
this track at night. It did bite a lot of cars in the ass, but it also helped a lot of guys that weren't running great.
I don't think Chase would have won that race. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The
guys
9
that were running in front, like
cars as the sun went down.
Blaney and
Said that
Bubba
yet.
were both running like they were the only one. They looked pretty competitive compared to the Gibbs cars, who looked unstoppable. So the next best cars were like the 12 and the 23. Sun went down; those cars fell off a cliff. They couldn't get the 12 got the setup right. 23 not so much. They were not right, but they were able to band-aid it every stop, get a little better.
Yeah.
It took the 12 until the very last like 30 laps of the race to finally get that thing figured out.
Yeah, he spun out by himself.
Yeah, I was saying he spun out by himself even in the middle of that. So good comeback on their end. But then on the contrary, the Gibbs cars stayed about the same. They weren't as good. They definitely became more. They were like, okay, now they're beatable. But they had good track position, and their cars were still solid. They were still some of the best cars on track by far. But the big takeaway there was when the 9 car, who was running like 10th, 9th, somewhere around there, got around to the sun going down, and the track changed when the sun went down. It got washed away, with all the rain, and that thing was just a rocket ship. He drove to the front like it was nobody's business, and he never looked back.
That one clip of like him weaving through like 10 cars to the front, where Chastain, Harvick, and I think it was Truex were racing like 3 wide, and Elliott's like behind him, just like rocketing past them.
It's just funny because it's like he realized like, oh, my car is good, and he wasted no time at all getting to the front and showing it off.
Yeah,
it's like he drove through the whole field like a hot knife and butter, and that was it. He was like, catch me if you can.
Yeah.
The only car that had a shot was Kyle, who matched him and outdid him on green flag pit stop strategy for the last stop of the race under green until we had a caution, which changed all this. But it looked like the 18 had a shot at the 9, but the 9 still had him covered by a country mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of time. Because that green flag stop was like 25 to go, 30 to go. 9 car had all day to go around him because 9 car had him beat on long run speed.
Yeah.
So it was only a matter of time before he passed him back. But, without further ado, I guess we'll get to the end of the race. What y'all think of the finish, like the strategy call? Because we had a green white checker, or not a green white checker. It was like yellow with like 5 to go. And so then it was a question of, do we pit on and get off these 20, 25 lap old tires and go to freshies for the final 4 laps of the race, or do we stay out and just try to, make it work?
I was with Kyle when they made that move. I was like, that's a really bad idea. If you were going to pit at that point, taking 2 tires was suicide. It was not going to work, no matter what you tried to do.
Yeah, I think Kyle was the only car that took 2.
Yeah, he was the only car that took 2. He just got swallowed up by the field.
Yeah, but you got to remember, he didn't even take it. Tires or not, he got he dropped back to like 12 because there was 26 cars on the lead lap, and only maybe 10 of them pitted.
Yeah, a bunch of cars stayed out. So he dropped to the back anyway, and then all the cars with fresh tires passed.
They passed nobody.
Like
Kyle and Truex, I think both finished outside the top 20.
Yeah, they both finished outside.
It's now 2 races in a row where the Toyotas have had some honestly questionable strategy calls. We saw it at Sonoma's too.
I think the only guy that made the tire call work was Kevin Harvick.
Yeah,
that was the only car I saw get in the top 10 with that tire.
Yeah, but he was already in the top 10.
And he
literally everybody in the top 10 that pitted lost their fucking finish, and it was really sad because guys like McDowell put up amazing days, and they lost out on like a 6th place finish.
Yeah. Martin Truex.
Oh my god,
winning car. He had a winning car under him, and they just lost it at the end of that race.
They lost their edge and became mortal when the sun went down, and then that last thing just nailed in the coffin. They didn't even get to salvage their top 5 out of it.
It was so weird seeing Truex run like that, though. You don't see Truex rip the top like he did earlier.
Yeah, he was killing it.
Yeah.
I watched Kyle's onboard on the last lap. Kyle Busch's onboard is really funny because he goes through 1 and 2 and just bounces off the wall the whole time, and then he got mad 3 and 4, and he hit the wall again, and he just left it pinned in wall road. He just left it wide open and just drug his car on the wall for the entire 3 and 4 and was like, I'm done.
That's awesome.
Race over. Let's go home. So that sucks for those guys. But on the contrary, all the guys that stayed out, good call, I guess. I mean,
Kurt Busch.
it was a tough call. I don't blame the cars that pitted for pitted. I mean, because when Kyle pitted from second, and a lot of guys directly behind Kyle went with him, because they were like, they were on the basis of, well, if Kyle went from second, and we go with Kyle, and everybody else pits with us, then we are all gonna swamp the most unbeatable car out there because we're gonna have tires, and he won't. Problem was, is everybody from like ninth back after those guys were like, we can't pass any of these cars, but if we stay out, we go up to like second on back. So they all stayed out. So all the cars on tires had to restart like maybe 12th back, and it just not enough time and not enough real estate at Nashville to make that work. So that sucks for them. I don't blame them for pitting there because that was their only way to beat the 9. But I hate to see it happen.
Man, Kurt Busch almost stole that race.
He did almost steal that race. If he would have just like got a better jump and just drove up in front of the 9 car and tried to not wreck them somehow, he'd have a shot maybe. All that would happen then, though, is everybody behind them would have passed both of them. It would have been a mess.
You see Kurt's interview after the race?
Yeah, he's like, I wish I had a better plan.
He's like, I wanted to bang fenders with him, man. Kurt is so much fun, man. He came up after the race to give Elliott a handshake after.
I mean, yeah, he's like, I went from running like 9th or 10th, and now I finished second. Cool.
I feel like that finish shows why he's probably like one of the most well-liked guys in the Cup Series right now, too.
Yeah.
Like
the finish was the finish, and it's nobody. I mean, the car that was the best car in the end of the race won the race, so that's not an issue. But then rises the question of the caution flag, and I think this is a good time to bring up the caution flag.
I didn't think it was that big a deal. I know some people did, but
I think they made the right call.
Those same people, you know how they always say that, or Kyle Busch had that quote where he's like, I guess those people have 88 tattoos.
Yeah.
I think all the people who are mad about the call have 9 tattoos with the red circle with the line through it over them because it wasn't that bad of a, or I guess, non-call.
What do you think, Vito? Good call, bad call on no caution on that last 3 to go wreck, quote unquote.
I think this is a tough situation because NASCAR needs to be consistent. This is my new stance I'm taking. I took this up after fucking
the All-Star
600, the All-Star race. Consistency of NASCAR and how they throw caution flags. If they aren't consistent, it fucking ruins the quality of the sport.
See, I think that consistency is important, but when you make a call as bad as they did at Texas, you gotta just make that better. Because just keeping it like that.
Texas was a bad call. I think this was also a bad call because they've called that yellow a million times. They've also called it green a million times. I think that it just needs to be consistent. Like I have no strong opinion either way.
It was coming to 2 to go, and there was no debris dropping. There was really nothing.
In the grass, bouncing around. It's like,
shut your fucking mouth.
Like there was nothing really that warranted the caution other than Brad hitting the wall, but even then, like, he wasn't in anyone's way. Nothing happened. It just kind of hit it.
Let me say my piece. All I'm saying is that I have no strong opinion either way. It was a fuck finish. I think NASCAR needs to be more consistent if they want this sport to be respected. You need rules or anything competitive. You don't have a set of rules that you follow, and it's bullshit. It's nothing.
Well, yeah, that's why
none of it matters.
That's why I'm saying I think they made a good call because they're like, listen, All-Star, forget that shit, please.
I don't think they want attention on the All-Star race.
I think that's nothing. I don't think the All-Star race has anything to do with it.
You don't?
No, I don't.
The biggest backlash of any caution last a couple of years.
I know. All I'm saying is that they need to call it consistently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So choose a lane is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Choose a lane. Do you want that to be called a caution? Do you want that to be called a green? You've called it a caution a million times. You've called it a green a million times. Pick one and stick to it.
By the way, choose a lane. Was that a racing pun intended or a racing pun
I'm
not
gonna
intended?
fucking pull your eyes out.
But yeah, even then, like I don't think the result would have changed at all.
Yeah,
No.
me neither.
I think
Like,
the car
They
that
throw
deserved to
car
win
out there,
won the
it still
race.
wins.
I think the car that deserved to win won the race. It's just still a fuck finish, and NASCAR's fucking stupid.
I mean, I agree with the take on Vito's. Well, I have a combination, and it's Chris and Vito's, and it's that I think NASCAR made the right call not throwing the yellow because nothing really happened. There's no need to throw a caution there. I also think it's a bad call because it's an inconsistent call. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, that
Yeah.
caution gets called more often than not. That's a caution.
Mhm.
It's 2 to go. That's a caution because NASCAR wants that green, white, checkered overtime.
But I don't think it's because of Elliott.
No,
just
I
think
don't
it's
think
because
so
they
either.
want it
I
to be
think it's
done.
like, well, Elliott's leading, which is a plus, I guess. But also, we've been on rain delay. We're on a broadcast that we shouldn't even be on right now, overtaking a network show that people want to be watching that they're not showing because there's a NASCAR override. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I-
they're
I-
like, we need to get
I-
NBC's knocking. We need to get this thing over with because we're way over
Mhm.
our time. You know.
And I don't think it's Elliott, but
I
and
think
it
that
sure
was
does
the
feel
biggest
like
factor in it
NASCAR.
was the network being like, just get this shit. We need to get this shit in, you know, or not the network saying that, but NASCAR being like, we need to get this shit in so the network's not mad.
Yeah.
You know, as little time wasted as possible because they're already so far over, and you know they'd swap to USA. They were blocking Sunday night TV that people want to watch. You know what I mean? People get mad.
Yeah.
They went from network to cable. And if people are trying to watch the cable TV show on Sunday night and they got to watch NASCAR sit on
You
your
gotta
couch,
watch Law and Order.
You know what I mean?
Gotta watch
and they
the
all
Law
get
and Order.
mad.
but
You know, the
50
network,
times.
they don't care. They're going to get mad. They don't care what the circumstance is in NASCAR. They're like, well, here was your time slot we agreed on and you went over. So, you know, NASCAR was probably trying to like, we got to get this wrapped up, which is totally fair. But, you know, that caution gets called more often than not is what I'm saying. Like, you know, a car bounces, gets knocked off the track, bounces off the wall, and he's slow and kind of swerving around on the front street. NASCAR's throwing that caution because they want that entertainment. Because more often than not, it was a boring 3 hours of NASCAR, and they want to try to salvage something out of it to get the people excited.
Because once you get to the extras,
So, and then this time, NASCAR doesn't throw it,
which
which is the right call. They shouldn't throw cautions for stuff like that. Cautions suck.
Yeah.
You know? Just let the races play out naturally. But, I don't know. That's my stance.
I don't think it was
I
because
think
it was
that they
Elliott.
shouldn't call cautions for stuff like that, so I'm glad they didn't throw it. But more often than not, NASCAR always throws a yellow for that exact kind of incident. So, you know, what gives? Which one is it, NASCAR? You got to pick.
When you do that, you're going to get people say, "Oh, it's because Chase is leading the race."
Yeah, and then now that they don't, and it looks bad, because now it's like, oh, you're only doing it because Chase Elliott, Golden Boy NASCAR, Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean?
especially because they've I don't think
They
they've done
really
a lot
milk the
with
Chase Elliott empire because he's their most popular driver.
Yeah.
Which is
They've done it a
totally
few
fine. You know what I
times.
mean?
They have absolutely a few times given Chase a lot of leniency.
Yeah,
But
he has a track record of it. Like, especially the Roval last year. Good God, that was horrible.
when it comes down to like NASCAR doing that, Dale Jr. will forever be the king of getting leniency.
600.
Yeah.
Man, Brandon, you remember the Coke 600 when Jeff Burton spun out in front of a pack of cars and Dale Jr.
He spun out in front of a pack of cars and then got stalled in the grass off the racetrack. Like, his car wouldn't start, and he's wrecked. Like, he's not facing the racetrack. And then he's slowly trying to get going again, and NASCAR was like, no, man, just leave it green. And then Karma stepped in and made him run out of gas. So, you know, it is what it is.
The closer moment.
Not like Dale Jr.'s on the radio to NASCAR, like, leave this thing green. You know what I mean? Like, that's just NASCAR
he
trying
did.
to get a Dale Jr. win. Because, you know, it's
It
2011.
looked good.
He's in a winless drought. He's about to win a crown jewel. Like,
Yeah.
And that's like the closer moment. I remember like DW on the mic, like the closer strikes again. That's our reset. I don't even remember
yeah.
something. Like when I think of Kevin Harvick as the closure, that's the moment I
not the
think
one
of.
I think of the 07 500.
Yeah.
That's one too.
He came from
Yeah,
like
When he led one lap, the last one,
yeah.
past Mark Martin on the final straightaway. Heads up. Not because anyone ran out of fuel, just heads up, past Mark Martin right on the last.
Yeah.
in
600 is
the
a good
last
one,
like
though.
200 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, like you look at Elliott and you're like, okay, that no call, and then you add like other notables like the Roval last year. That car should have been black flagged. Like the picture of it going through the chicane with like a 4-foot trail of debris behind it, just dragging around the racetrack, like
It should have been black flag.
should
It
have been
really
black
should have.
flag. You need to pull that off. Another one was like, but there's always like a weird rule that always makes it like passable through NASCAR standard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, well,
It was like-
technically it's different under road courses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like the rule book said you didn't need that part on the road course. Technically, they could leave
Well,
it. Like, fuck off.
Aaron,
And then
It
you
was
get
my
and then you
rule
get
book.
back to Martinsville 2020, where the crew guy, for God knows why, just ran off and was like, okay, and he's like, wait a minute, and he like went back to the wall, the Jackman, on like that last pit stop or whatever, or one of the last pit stops of the race, where the Jackman went like 30 minutes too early. Like, I don't know where he was going or what he was doing, but he just went. And then he ran back to the wall and like touched the wall and then like ran back around the car because then it finally got there by then. That's how early he went. And they were like, technically speaking, if you reestablish and the car is not like within 3 boxes, you can reestablish your position on the wall. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like
I
it
don't-
had a weird backdoor way to like make sense, but it was just like, oh, that looks horrible for NASCAR.
you see in my rule book here,
Didn't
it
they,
says
like-
Chase Elliott wins.
Well, no, but didn't they post that as like a heads up moment? They were like playing into that as like, oh, what a great IQ moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, they made
they
it
did.
like, oh, look, he knows the rule. That dude did not know the rule.
He did not know that.
Nobody knows that rule. You know why?
Yeah,
NASCAR doesn't post their rule book anywhere.
That's
Yeah.
not a
They didn't
thing.
hope it wasn't going to get called.
If the pit crew guy was like, oh, I can run back to the wall and reestablish my position according to section 13.7a. You know, it's like, no. That dude just said, oh, shit, I went early. And he ran back to the wall like, hopefully they don't get mad.
Yeah.
And they were like, yep, that's a rule. Like, since when? You know what I mean? Like, technically, NASCAR could just say that's a rule, and everybody couldn't confirm or deny because they don't have a public rule book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime I think of like a NASCAR rule calls, I just think it's funny to think like the fucking Few Good Men scene. So the one. Fucking you can't handle the truth court
Yeah.
scenes. Like a military tribunal NASCAR
You can't
rules.
handle the truth. It's all Hendrick Motorsports.
Ugh.
Always has been.
Oh, Brandon, you know what I just got reminded of? I got my favorite stat of the season
Yeah.
has come in. Do you know which 2 drivers have the current same average finish?
Is it 2 really random ones?
It's one
It's-
really random one and one guy who's been like really good.
Okay,
It's-
so it's probably like Kevin Harvick and like Michael McDowell or something.
One of
Close.
them is Michael McDowell. He has the same average finish as William Byron.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Dude, Michael
Not a very
McDowell
good
making a
finish.
playoff run. How far out is he?
He is. I think he's
21. He's pretty high up,
21st in
surprisingly.
points.
Dude, he could do it.
The first spot in the playoffs on points
Road
is
America
11.
this weekend, top 3. It's going to be Chris Buescher,
Listen.
Michael McDowell, and AJ
AJ McLeod, fuck it.
AJ, yeah. Listen, man, Michael McDowell, he said Road America is his best track.
I
That's
watched
all I
him
wanna
race. He
say.
won an Xfinity race here back in the day.
Yeah, he did.
He drove RCR's 2-car and like destroyed the field and then flew to like Michigan or whatever and ran the cup race the next day in the Levine
Yeah.
car. Here's a
But
funny
yeah,
one. Brad Keselowski made it to 30th in the points. Like, he got back to 30th pretty quick, but he hasn't been able to move past that the entire time.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
still behind Todd Gilliland.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
Corey
yes.
LaJoy
Corey was
isn't
right,
even playoff eligible for a win.
Yeah, he's running bad
He's
this year.
31st.
Which sucks because I expected them to make like a front row type of up where
No.
like
Yeah, I thought the 7 car was going to
They're running
start
up
climbing.
first.
They looked to be promising last year, and now it's just kind of like, well, now what?
especially with their second place, I think it was at Daytona that LaJoy had. Or was it second or did they get penalized? What, oh wait, no, they crashed. Never mind.
Best finish ever was 5th at Atlanta.
Yeah, no, they were running second
They were
at
running
Daytona.
really high in
And then-
Daytona last summer, and then
And then in that big one
Daytona
on the
happened.
final lap, he got involved in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
the Harvick spin and everybody crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Cole Custer's 27th. Just got to throw that out there.
He
I think
sucked.
Adrian also
That's
mentioned
so
that Cole
bad.
Custer, he has his last top 5 ever was his win in 2020.
His
Yep.
last
And the
top
only
10
ever one he's ever gotten since then was the weekend directly before that win at Kentucky.
Yeah, with
his last
Indianapolis.
top 10
It's
over a
all
full season ago.
Ugh.
Like, my
Top 10?
God.
Come on, buddy.
but yeah,
We know
the
Haas
week
is not
before
running that
that.
great right now, but like,
And it's funny,
The
like, 'cause he's
week-
still absolutely, like, cracked in an Xfinity car. Like, he's a GOAT.
yeah,
He's so good.
dude,
But then he jumps back in the Cup car and runs like absolute dog.
dude, in Auto Club, he passed 7 cars in 1 lap to the lead. Like,
In the
you get
5
Cup
car.
you run like 25th.
It's weird. I mean, it makes sense.
Just put him
Right,
back in the
next
double
gen
zero.
car-
Just send him back down to Xfinity and leave him there.
The
Yeah,
next gen
seriously,
car,
it's
I
like-
can understand, but why was he so bad last year in the Cup car when that's not like miles and
Because
miles?
Stuart
difference?
Haas sucked, and
Yeah.
he's the worst driver on Stuart Haas.
Yeah.
Like, seeing Cole Custer run this bad makes me sad Almirola's leaving.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh God, now what are they going to do? Because Harvick is not exactly sticking around for much longer.
No,
Yeah,
Harvick's
I
around
mean,
like 1,
I
2.
love
I mean,
Harvick.
we have great hands in what's his name, Briscoe. But after that, Custer ain't going nowhere right now.
You got Zane Smith that could come up, do good.
I think they steal someone from
I don't know.
Toyota. They steal someone from Toyota or Chevy. In my
Priest is
opinion.
probably going to get a ride with them
Yeah, but
sooner
is
or later.
Priest gonna run any better than Cole Custer?
No, he's not. I don't think Priest
Maybe?
is that good.
I mean, he did okay in the Rick Ware car in the couple starts he did with them this year.
Yeah, that's true.
If he could run okay with Rick Ware, he outran Cole Custer in the Rick Ware car.
I
Like-
remember him qualifying like 13th at Dover.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, how about this shit? I mean, he won that truck race just now, but that doesn't mean shit. I don't know. I think he'd do okay. I think he'd be
be
about
alright.
the
He'll
same
be good.
level as
He'll be solid.
I don't know if he'd make the
I think he'd be on the
playoffs.
same level as Almirola. He doesn't really win, but he runs pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Almirola's putting up a 12th place points run right now.
Yeah, no, he's been good this year.
Almirola. Actually, now that you mention it, I have this right now. Almirola just recently dropped out of the playoffs. It's now Christopher
Yeah,
Bell's
but he
15.
dropped out of the
Harvick.
playoffs, but he's 12th in points. That sucks.
Yeah.
Just because
Guys
there's
in
so
the
many
playoffs,
guys.
like the 99 car in 19th, the 11 car in 20th.
The
Yeah.
14 and 8 and 18th and the 2 and 17th.
Yeah,
Like, man.
Yeah.
got to be a winner.
Mm-hmm. If you're not going to win, you got to be really high up there.
No,
Correct.
no, Chris,
Laney.
no.
Oh, yeah, we're going to fill the grid out this.
Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, sorry. I'm wrong. We have, there's 2 guys because I forgot they have playoff points, and the app is weird. So, yeah, there's two guys at the bottom, and then Blaney and Truex right in the middle,
Yeah.
who are
I would
basically
be
givens
shocked.
to win, I feel, but you never know.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if they don't win by the end
And
of the regular.
Bell at New Hampshire is very likely, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
And I mean,
even
look
if
at
it's
this.
not New
Look at this.
Hampshire.
Harvick is on the table. Almirola's on the table. Tyler Reddick's still on the table.
Yeah.
Austin Dillon. Dude, Dillon almost won the 600.
Yeah, Dylan
Dillon was going to
win.
win the 600 if he didn't clear himself off 4.
Honestly, in terms of consistency, Dylan's
Again,
been
by
a
the way.
lot better than Reddick here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Reddick
in
has
terms of-
better like moments at the front, but then this being the rock of like just just getting by every week,
Running
making the finishes. Dillon.
Yeah, Dylan runs really good. He's very underrated, I think. Him
Now-
and Reddick have the same
Now
top
he's on
10.
reality television, so I hate him.
Him and Reddick have the same amount of top
This
10
is true.
year. Yeah.
You know who wouldn't be on reality TV
Oh, yeah,
full
Peter, you know
time?
about
Tyler
that
Reddick.
Austin Dylan reality show?
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's called Life in the Fast Lane.
Yeah.
And I saw the commercials for it. It looks like Jersey Shore, but NASCAR.
Yeah, it looks like Jersey
Yeah.
Shore, but Austin Dillon.
It's Austin Dillon
Well,
and
it-
all his friends.
It's a reality television show.
Anything about Austin Dillon and the friends he hangs out with, it is not something I want to watch.
I don't care.
It's
I mean,
it's
I'd watch
bad.
it regardless of who was in it, but
Chase Elliott not invited to chill.
not invited to chill.
I love that.
And then Daniel Hemrick was the whistleblower on that story, by the way.
No,
He,
he wasn't.
He
Fucking
said
queer.
that Chase Elliott was in fact invited to chill, but declined.
Wow.
No, that's not true. You're a cocksmoker.
Chase Elliott lies to the public.
Chase Elliott's a cocksmoker too.
Wow. How would you even smoke a cock, Vito? Care to explain the,
I don't know. We're asking you,
process?
Adrian.
I wouldn't
No.
know. I don't know how to do that.
No.
I don't know how to. I need help.
You do need
Yep.
help. You
Fucking
need
cock.
mental help. All right, so anyway, yeah, the grid now, it's Elliott, Chastain, Logano, Byron, Busch, Hamlin, Larson, Blaney, Truex, not winners, Kurt Busch,
Weinstein.
Bowman, Suarez, Briscoe, Cindric, Bill, Harvick. No
Cosby.
Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby on the playoff.
But R. Kelly.
No R. Kelly either. Man,
30
one more, and
years.
that's the final four I'm trying to watch. Jeffrey Epstein?
Hey,
He's dead.
No, he's dead. He can't be out there.
He's the Dale Earnhardt of sex.
The Sex and
Brandon.
Five series.
Brent, I have a
Deshaun
question.
Watson?
Right? Do you
Can we throw him out there? Or do
McMahon.
we need to wait on Vince McMahon? Man, we got the whole playoffs going.
Oh shit!
So I got a
Somebody say
question.
tier
right?
list?
You rapist!
Do you think right now that there is a clear championship favorite?
No.
Yeah, I agree. I
Oh,
don't.
I-
wow,
I
my
don't
my
wanna
stupid
sound-
answer early before you even finish your question was actually correct. I don't know who's
Yeah,
going to
no, I
win. I honestly
don't
don't. I
wanna
couldn't
sound
tell you.
biased,
If
but
I got
if I had
two
to
names
predict,
that I probably the best guys out there right now, but I don't.
who do you
like-
think?
Well, three actually. Third one's kind of an asterisk, but it's kind of funny. Like the main two are Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott. They've probably been the best two guys all year.
I didn't really think of Kyle Busch, but now that you mention it, yeah, there's
Yeah,
like
no, Kyle Busch has been up there all.
I think the three
Sure.
guys who are like the toast. That if I had,
Here's the one that I think is kind of funny. Even
I know
though
who this
he's
is.
running abysmal in points right now, off of just sheer fucking determination of like, I'm doing this, Denny Hamlin, I think, will be up there.
yeah,
Because they gave
See
up
it.
on points. They're just going bonsai trying to win shit now.
I mean,
So
You
you're
know-
talking about the
you're going to be top 30.
man.
honestly, I think when the chips are down, my pick, I'm still going with my pick. I still think Joy championship.
Logano's a really good pick
That's
too.
not a bad
Like
pick
he's
for the title.
up there.
He could do it too.
He's
the
up
same
there
way
for
Hamlin
that.
does it.
too. Well, even then, he's not even doing a bad points run. He's going to get more playoff points than Hamlin will.
I mean, if Christopher Bell doesn't win in New Hampshire, he's not far behind in my picks to win that race.
I mean, there's not
Yeah,
even a
Logano.
clear, like, dominant car this year.
See,
No, there isn't.
last year Larson took a while to come
Or
alive.
even,
This
like,
year,
a
whoever
clear
ends up-
dominant few. Like, I don't see
Yeah.
that. You know, like, the same car doesn't run up front every week. Maybe with the exception of, like... You know what's funny? Everywhere we go, the damn 43 car's running in the top 10, but he never finishes there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the guy that's running up front every week, Ryan Blaney.
Well, no, the guy that's running up front of Ross Chastain. I just don't think he's going to make a very deep
I don't
run.
think he's going to make smart moves in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. Not make smart moves. I just think he's already made.
I was talking about this with Vito when we were watching something. It was after the race was over. I was like, Ross Chastain, he's having a great year. He's running up front consistently every race we go to. He's pretty close. But I don't think Ross Chastain is one of the best drivers in NASCAR. Could you imagine what Kyle Busch would be doing in the one right now or something?
What I can tell you right now is that the reason he's running up front as much as he is he's a solid driver, but also Trackhouse is probably the only team that brings a good car with them every.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Petty car is pretty good, the 43.
Yeah,
not
but,
for a
the
win
Trackhouse
contention,
car
but
is
it's
the
a
only
top
one
10
that
car
comes in
every week. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, but that Petty car run, it's a top 10 car every single week.
GMS.
It is top 10 speed.
GMS,
I'm
is in
saying,
their
like,
first
GMS showed
year,
up,
though.
and like they just were like, here, let's make a little merger here. Let's see if we can run. And they're like top 10 every week. That is a 10th place
Yeah, but
car
only
every
the
single week. It
43.
rolls off the trailer. It doesn't matter if we're in Afghanistan. That thing's running 10th.
I don't even know if I think it's just the 43 too, because like Ty Dillon's running like Ty Dillon.
That's what I mean. The 42 is just the 42 is running like the 43 would have run.
By the way,
Yeah.
Ty Dillon, another driver that's ahead of Cole Custer in the
So you know
points,
what that
just
tells me?
saying.
Maybe more the GMS heads are all kind of on the 43, and then the just petty guys that have been around are on the 42.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, they took
Feels
like the
like-
best guys off the 43, and then like the most experienced, the best guys off the GMS entry, and made that the 43 car.
I
And then they
mean,
took like
it feels like
they
if
took
you have
like
limited...
some experienced GMS guys and the more, or you know, like the more inexperienced GMS guys and like the experienced but not great 43 guys are like doing the 42 car. Maybe that's how it's working. I don't know.
I
You
mean,
know
it
what
feels
this
like if
makes
you have
me
limited
wonder?
resources, but a 2-car team, you're gonna want the 43 to be better than the 42.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
You know what I wonder right now? What would have happened if they didn't merge and it was Ty Dillon in the 9 or still and Eric Jones in the
I think
Just
Eric Jones
pity.
would be running a little bit worse than he's running right now, and Ty Dillon would probably be
Abysmal.
The same.
also a little worse than where he is right now.
Yeah. I think this merger helped both of what they would have. Or
Yeah, no, both
Yeah.
parties have succeeded from this. And then, you know, it's cool to see more teams trying to get in. Speaking of that, like, y'all been following the junior stuff? Like,
I think
Yeah.
it happens.
Dale
I don't
finally
know when,
just said,
but
like,
it's
straight
happening.
up, he just said it publicly, like, yeah, we want to be a Cup team. He's been denying
Yeah.
it for so long, but it was inevitable.
I did look at this one radio interview that happened, I think, yesterday with Kelly Earnhardt,
yeah.
where she basically
Well,
confirmed
I mean,
like, it's not
Kelly,
happening.
Dale is the figurehead, but Kelly really runs that team.
Kelly
You know,
runs.
Junior Motorsports, all the, like, financial, everything, like, the real, like, how this thing operates is run through her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when it happens, but I would bet it happens.
Yeah, it
And
will.
honestly-
What'd she say? I want to know.
What she said is that it definitely won't happen next year. Full time is completely out of the question unless a miracle happens. Because the
It's going to
biggest
take a
barrier-
miracle.
Miracle!
Miracle.
Now she says full time. I definitely do
Yeah,
think they do run at
said
least
they
a
could
couple
probably
part
fill a
times,
part-time entry.
which I think they will.
Junior
But,
Motorsports put up a tweet this morning saying like Daytona, it's a goal as a team. I think they're gonna obviously run the 500.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to go part-time, they're definitely
Who's
500.
going to drive it?
I think.
Greg.
I think all three of their guys that aren't Sam Mayer get a shot. I think at least one shot. I think they run a few races.
Dale
I think-
Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah. Well, no, I think you're right. Yeah, probably.
You think Junior's going to run a Cup race in the next gen car?
No,
Dude,
no,
I would
yes.
go
No way.
crazy.
no way.
No, he will.
Unless
He will
it's at a
not. He will not
track.
run. He will not run a Cup race.
There is no way in hell. At least Dale Jr. runs the Daytona 500. That's not
No
happening.
No,
chance.
that not the 500, but I think he would
If he
run.
runs, it's going to be at like Martin's.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
I don't even think he does one of those. What if he runs like Richmond? That's like his best track
Yeah,
for like running just a
If
one.
I see,
But he's also a
What
nerd.
about Bristol.
watch Junebug get in a Cup car.
yeah. But if I had to pick a guy to run the 500, I think Allgaier would be a really.
Yeah, I think Allgaier's going to run. I think at least one. I think Gregson's going to run at least one. I think Barry's going to run at least
Yeah,
one.
but this is
Then-
assuming they even get a Cup car for next year.
Yeah.
And they said their biggest barrier for entry right now is charter. They cannot get a charter at a good price right now.
Yeah.
Which I'm just saying,
This
give it like
is stupid.
give it like 2 years.
Rick.
Already will be up there, I think.
Big Rick.
Hey
Big
Rick, we need money.
Yeah.
Go ask Pop
Go,
Barry
Rick,
for some
please.
cash.
Oh wait, Brandon, Rick Hendricks sends them like a fucking like gift basket every time they win a race.
Really? The Junior Motorsports Xfinity team?
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
I forgot.
that's like a joint operation. It's kind of like they're like the
he puts
Hendrick
like a
baby.
little card with it.
Yeah,
Right,
when
I mean,
Junior
look at it going
Motorsports
in the works
goes-
now. Hendrick is going to enter under Hendrick that 88
Yeah.
car.
No,
Yeah, No,
the
it's
17.
17. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and they're only doing that because Miguel Paludo's in the 88 car races that they want on the 17. But
Yeah,
they
but
still
I mean,
wanted
like-
to run those races.
That starts to work. They get their feet wet with that. They go, okay, cool. That can take the part-time, like, fielding an extra from Junior's Xfinity team burden off them, which gives Junior then the capabilities to put more effort into a Cup car.
yeah. So I'm looking. I
I mean, if
for
they
the
just
biggest
they just
basket.
need one. They don't need any. They just need one Cup car.
Yeah, they just need a car. Which hey,
I think they'll
I think they're
start
gonna
with
enter one
but
Cup
I-
car, and it should be the 88 car. Leave it at that.
I
Yeah.
think they'll probably
Run
get
the
the charter on
88 Mountain Dew.
I think they'll
What?
start with one, but I think they
What?
eventually go to two,
What?
just because.
Well, they would need 2 charters. But I
Yeah.
think they're gonna get I think they're gonna get their car off of JTG Doherty if they're gonna go in the Cup,
Yep.
because that is a charter up for grabs that we've been hearing about them wanting to pull out for a little bit now.
Hit pull out.
I wouldn't be too surprised if Dale Jr. buys the charter off of JTG Doherty.
Yeah, well, JTG just got to pull out of NASCAR.
People have been talking about them doing that for like a long time.
Yeah, but then they just extended Stenhouse, so I don't know when.
Yeah, well, they just extended Stenhouse, but that's not a problem if the team doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Spinhouse.
Like, they extended their contract with Stenhouse for as long as that team's going to be around. Which I don't think is going to be much longer.
Really? I've never really even thought about that.
Yeah, like, I've been hearing so much stuff about possibly selling stuff.
I don't know if you guys have heard anything in the past, but what the fuck happened to those Honda talks when it's going to be like the next gen revamp?
Oh,
people are
it's
saying,
still
right?
around. It's just the power units won't change until after 2023.
Yeah.
So, you know,
They got one more year.
I think there's going to be a hybrid element added, and that will bring in.
What do you think?
That will be the kicker to either bring in or keep.
I think it'll be fun.
Penske go Honda? Does Penske go Honda?
Penske doesn't switch.
No.
Penske stays Ford. Penske's like the Ford team now. I think Stuart Haas goes.
I think Stuart Haas goes whatever manufacturer comes in, whether it be Dodge or whether it be Honda.
Yeah. I'd rather
like
it be Dodge, though.
I think there being more manufacturers is a good thing for the sport.
Yeah,
Not too many, though.
I feel like it's a given.
Oh, I think too many's cool because it's funny.
Well, yeah, but
I
who's
think
going to
it's a given,
switch?
though, you know?
Yeah, there's not enough
The more
cars.
you get, the more support you get. It's great.
You could say, oh, you want Dodge and Honda and maybe like Nissan. Like, who's going to run
I do
them?
not want Nissan.
Whatever
Who's going to
teams.
run them?
A
Yeah,
team
but,
will run a Dodge. A team will run a Honda. That's absolutely.
Well, yeah, but is it going to be like a competitive team?
And that flagship team is going to be their best running team. It's not like these.
I mean, yeah,
cars
you're
are
going to
gonna
get factory support direct, which means good paycheck. However, I don't know
Yeah,
if it's
I feel
really
like-
good or not.
I feel like petty GMS would go to Dodge.
I think.
Well,
Yeah.
GMS, big Chevy.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
how
GMS
big of a Chevy
the
guy
G-
are you when Chevy gives all their money to Hendrick and then Dodge comes knocking
Yeah.
with a check that size?
Yeah.
Like, we want Richard Petty's 43 in a Dodge.
Like, there's certain teams where you just know they're never switching. Like, Hendrick's never switching, Childress never switching,
Wood Brothers
Roush never switching.
There were
Yeah,
there were
Brothers-
those rumors before the Gen 6 about Childress going to Dodge, though.
Never.
And
It wouldn't happen, but I'm just saying, those were there.
Gibbs is Toyota at this point, even though Toyota's like the new kid, the new team, whatever the fuck,
Oh,
the new
they've been around
manufacturer.
Been around for over a
Yeah,
decade.
they're not new anymore, but they're technically the newest. But
Gibbs is Toyota. They have
Gibbs
been.
is Toyota.
Since
Yeah,
They were like, since they first went to
Toyota's
Toyota.
future in the sport.
I don't know. Maybe Trackhouse is doing great with not like RCR engines. Imagine what doing with like direct factory support. They'd be one of the best teams in the series.
Well, yeah, that's again considering though right now that they're bringing the best cars. Let's say in like next year, guys are like, all right, we got this figured out. Trackhouse drops about.
I think I do think there is a chance Penske goes to Honda, but I don't know.
Dude, I'm pretty sure 2 of their 3 drivers are contracted Ford drivers.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with Penske being open to swapping because Penske's open to lots of manufacturer outlets, depending on who brings the best deal. The problem is all of their drivers are direct
Ford.
fucking children of Ford. So
Yeah. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the only one that's not signed with Ford is Cindric. I'm pretty sure he will.
Cindric's dad is second in command at Team Penske. So
Yeah. But like Logano and Blaney are both contracted Ford drivers.
Yeah.
And there ain't no way they're Logano, Blaney. Those guys are going to be Penske for the next 10 years.
But I'm scared about what Trackhouse would do with like. That'd be.
I'm not.
a
'cause
brand
again,
new manufacturer giving them factory support.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what would happen? They probably run really bad.
Probably.
Because you can't
They need to
just throw
fine-tune
money at it and be like, we're good now because we have money. It's like they'd have to
Yeah.
develop an entire NASCAR program.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
just
mean,
kind
look
of
at
happen
Toyota.
overnight.
Yeah.
look at Toyota. They didn't get good until like what, 2-3 years after
they
they got in.
won with Gibbs, but it was like, okay, you know what I mean? They didn't get like dominant and good for a long
They didn't
time.
contend for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, again, I think Trackhouse just kind of got the car figured out before anybody else did, and they know how to bring a consistent car every week.
hmm
Give that like another year or two, and I feel like they're going to run about like 10th instead of like 5th where they're running right now.
Which is still really solid. I
Well, yeah,
mean,
it's still really solid, but I
you're
don't
still
think
like
they're
a
gonna be,
step ahead of
this
Childress and all
powerhouse
those
team that I
teams.
feel like everyone out there.
Yeah.
Time will tell. It's my
Time will
opinion.
tell, indeed.
Way.
Is that everything?
I mean, that's
I
really
feel like it
everything.
is.
We've just been rambling, having a good show. Just talk show. That's what we do. We talk on a show.
Anybody got anything not NASCAR related to talk about?
Did anything interesting happen in the
No.
Xfinity race? I don't think so.
No. I do
No.
want to do one more thing, though. Mark Truex Jr. re-signed. Joe Gibbs for next
Oh
year.
yeah,
did.
Truex
He's coming.
signed with Gibbs. You're wondering where he was going to go, and I think that's
That's
a
good.
mix of Truex like not being decided if he wants to quit now or go one more year, and I think it's fair that he wants to go one more year to have like one more. Okay, this is it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's probably
Doing
also
what
been
Petty
helped
did.
tremendously by Joe Gibbs being like, we want Gibbs in one more Xfinity year, and you don't know if you want to stick around or not. So if you stuck around for one more year, we could give you a big send-off. You could have your own big send-off, and then Gibbs would be ready to go, and he could just take your car, and we wouldn't have to worry about any kind of filler seat.
We'll give you a lot of money.
Please, we'll give you a lot of money. And they were like, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the typical Martin Truex reaction to everything is,
He said,
all right.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I can do that.
And
You know what I mean? What a guy.
Brendan,
Truex sounded so
Contract
tired
re-sign.
and depressed in that interview.
Yeah, they're like, Truex, you're back for another year? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do one more, do another year.
You know who else's deal ends at the end of next year, and you know who else at the end of next year? Kevin Harvick.
Kevin
I
Harvick.
think he's
End of
gonna
next-
sign.
Harvick
Yeah.
is probably going to run one more year, maybe.
Yeah, I think him and Truex retire at the same time. It's gonna be
That'd
like
be cool.
crazy. Yeah,
Kevin Harvick will race long enough to beat Harry Gant's record.
Yeah, I think so.
He's going to
He's
win
the
at like
only one who
has
56,
a
get the
chance.
oldest winner ever award.
I think he's the only one who has the chance of doing it.
Yeah.
I
I don't
would
think
like
anyone
that.
else will be able
Yeah, I
to.
mean, that's a bygone era.
Mhm. Kevin is like an oddity even now, you know?
Race until
Yeah,
70 to spite
how
us.
old's Kevin? Like 40.
I mean,
Kevin.
Kevin's
Like
been
46.
racing. Kurt's still out there. He's still, I mean, he's not as old as Harvick, I don't think, but he's been out
Kurt's
there.
only 43.
42, 43.
Yeah, I think Kurt might retire at the end of his contract as well. I don't.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. He's
It
having a
depends
lot of
on what-
fun
I
right
think
now,
it's-
so.
Too soon to talk about retirement.
Kurt's not going to stop until, like, man, this isn't fun.
Yeah, I think like Kevin Harvick. I'm not like Kevin Harvick. Like Truex with the whole Gibbs thing. I think Kurt retires when
I mean,
Nemechek.
look at him right now. Kurt's like putting up some of the
Good.
best runs. Like as a consistent season, this is probably his best season in like years.
Since he was at Stewart Haas.
Like he ran this good at like Stuart Haas and whatnot, but I think he's running better right now than he has in like any of those years, 2014 up. You know, from the resurgence of
doing-
Kurt.
What he's doing right now is he's not putting up as good of a points run, but he's putting up more runs for wins.
I'm saying, yeah, like running in the front, like he's in the top 5 like most of the race every week.
Like, this is the first time Kirk could contend for multiple wins in a season, realistically, since he was with like Roush.
Yeah, like he looks not that far back. He was good with Penske.
Well,
don't forget
listen,
about the
when he
entire
was
2-car segment.
He was Penske
And in
was
like the 41 car in like 2014, 15, 16, especially 17, 18. It was like he could win multiple and he never
18,
did.
I think it was the biggest. 18, he ran for the title. He was right
Yeah,
there.
He was a beast in 18. But I mean, Stuart Haas in 18 was absolutely crap.
Yeah, that was the dream team lineup.
Yeah.
Probably
So-
the best Haas lineup I've ever had with Almirola, Harvick, Boyer, and Kurt Busch.
Yeah, they were on a roll. I mean, just watch Talladega fall.
Yeah.
That one's a flash
Clint
in the
Boyer
pan.
won 2
One day I hope we get Dale Jr. style like download show long enough for like Rodney Childers or somebody to say what the hell they were on that day. I want to know.
Dude, I would.
One day we will know what Stuart Haas did to make that happen because that was not fair.
I just want to hear about like what Rodney Childers done over the car.
I just want to know. Not only do I want to it, I just want to know like how. What could they have done to do that?
That's what I mean. Like, what did they do?
Like, there's like being better, and then there's that.
That's like an oddity. We never saw that before. We had never seen it since. We're probably never going to see it again.
It just kind of happened. Where 4 cars got into it. Left. Like, you had your typical Talladega pack, and then the front 4 car.
And my favorite of that is when they like zoom out and show just how far ahead they were.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah,
you know,
like,
like just the
it's
middle of the
ridiculous.
race, random like wide shot. And they're like, and then it's like, and there's the rest of the pack. They're like 7 seconds ahead.
Ridiculous.
It's
Just
funny
riding
that
the
Almirola
bottom in their
won
little
that.
conga line.
It's funny that Almirola won that race because it's probably like the one time he contended for a win that he kind of shouldn't have gotten.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
with
he should have
Kurt,
won
'cause-
Dover and New Hampshire that year,
Yeah,
and all he got was Talladega, which he technically probably shouldn't have won.
yeah, which should have been Kurt's win.
Anyway, I don't know. Who knows? This show's run over.
Yeah,
I think we can wrap it up here.
yeah, I
Well-
think we're good.
I think we gotta make an apology.
Yeah.
I think we should apologize to the Spin Tunnel community for being the biggest pieces of trash in this side of the country. What?
What?
But we missed a lot of weeks, and we are sorry, but also no, we're not. Fuck you. We'll be back. I promise. We'll make it happen. I'll pull the strings.
I want to see a Brandon beanie baby. Can we make that happen? Can we get a merch?
Oh, that's it. That's what I wanted to announce. I had an announcement. Merch line is coming.
Soon.
We will not be if we sell merch. When we sell merch, eventually, maybe
We will
who
not
knows?
sell beanie babies.
We will
of
not
our
be selling a
characters.
beanie baby of myself. Do not think that it's going to be on the site. If you see
might.
a merch drop from Spin Tunnel and you go in there, which you got your grimy little fingers all excited to type in beanie baby on our fucking webpage, it will not be there.
It might.
And no, it
know.
won't.
Might. I don't know. More stuff is coming. I promise. There is stuff coming.
Stick around. This channel is going to get a lot more fun. Just takes a little bit of time.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey.
Plans are in motion.
All that being said, anybody else? Nothing? Chris? Nothing? Adrian?
I'm good.
Moist.
I'm not giving you the chance to speak. We're Spin Tunnel. We're not. Goodbye.